He'd seen no reason to risk his own objective or add a fresh bullseye to his back if, by extreme coincidence, she'd come in pursuit of someone else. But with that final tell, he'd known, and knowledge forced him to act. He wasn't an easy man to find, yet here she was. Who'd sent her and why controlled his response. He uncapped the bottle and took a long swig. Death was never just death. Eliminate a team of contract killers mid-flight, disembark before they were discovered, and that'd be the end of this. Take out a government task force, and each fresh body would give rise to 10 more fighting in their place. Infinite possibilities converged into a pinprick overlap that held only one possibility. An identity used one too many times. A compromised passport had led her to him. He rolled the half-empty bottle between his palms. Timing, location, and circumstance rolled into a Venn diagram inside his head. She'd come on behalf of the United States government. She'd come because the broker, the man who'd played king against king and bartered souls for national secrets, who'd negotiated hits between buyers and assassins, and who'd forced order into lawless chaos, was dead. Dead without a protege, dead without a plan for succession, dead to a sudden void in which the highly skilled killers he controlled were now unchained, free to pursue private agendas and vendettas. The powers that be would never afford that risk. The broker was dead. Now the ecosystem had to die with him. This, then, was Assassin's Sati, a modern take on that old Hindu tradition in which living wives threw themselves onto their husband's funeral pyre. More specifically, the part in which unwilling wives were forcefully thrown into those flames by others. This hit squad had come to do the throwing. Holden tucked the bottle back into the bag and took another look. Where there were 2, there would be others. Only a fool would send a pair to hunt him, and she hadn't come at the behest of fools. Speakers overhead announced another boarding class. The departure area emptied in the direction of the gate. He shoved thick-rimmed glasses onto his face, stood, and wound between seats, moving with the herd. The woman at the pillar shoved the phone into her pocket, reached for her roll-along, and fell in not far behind, lips twitching with the ventriloquist movement of throat whispers into an unseen mic. His left eye watched it happen, courtesy of the pinhead camera in his hatband, watched it in the lens of those thick-rimmed glasses, the way drivers watched cars in the rear view. The line congested. He slowed. She moved in closer. Proximity added 10 well-concealed years to her face and changed the shape beneath her cropped jacket enough to confirm that, had she been a normal traveler, she'd have set off enough alarms going through security to lock down the airport. He stepped out of line, checking pockets, scanning the floor. By assassin standards, he might as well have tipped his hat and nodded hello. Passengers jostled him. Legs and luggage moved forward. He found the boarding pass that had never been missing, tucked it into his passport, and followed her down the jetway and into the belly of the plane. Flight attendants split the passenger feed between 2 aisles. He ignored them, followed where his killer led, studying seated passengers without studying, watching those at his back as well as those ahead, searching for another glimpse of recognition or subconscious betrayal. And got nothing. She stopped, hefted her carry-on into the overhead. If she looked at him, he'd have smiled. Instead, she squirreled in for the window, and he continued on, matching seats to faces, noting positions and patterns, ruling out young children, discounting large family groups, analyzing the old with a critical eye, and mistrusting the flight crew. Kill or be killed at 30,000 feet. 300 potential threats.